Muslims first came in contact with Bengal in the 7th century after the early Arabs began to travel to the coastal regions of India. They came to engage in business and commerce. The discovery of coins issued by the Abbasids at Farpur in Rajshahi and Mainamati in Kamiya has proved this. They paved the way for the Sufis and other missionaries to enter Bengal to propagate their faith. Early preachers included Baba Adam Shahid of Dhaka, Shah Sultan Rumi of Mymensingh, and Shah Daula Shahid of Pabna. The Umayyads first entered India in 711 under the leadership of Muhammad ibn Qasim. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni then entered India during the beginning of 11th century. His excursions paved the way for Muhammad Ghuri to instigate his conquests. Muhammad Baktiyar Khalji then marched into Bengal almost unopposed. But who was Khalji? He was born in northern Afghanistan. Of Turkish origin, the members of the Khalaj tribe served the Ghurid rulers. Khalji was born into an ordinary family. He was a brave and ambitious young man, short in height and slim, with long arms. He wanted to become a soldier. He worked for the Ghurids but was dismissed for repeatedly coming to work late. He then wanted to join the army of Muhammad Ghuri, but he was not recruited because of his short height, long arms. Undeterred, he traveled to Delhi to serve Qutbuddin Aibak, but once again he was unsuccessful. He then worked for Malik Husamuddin, who offered him a plot of land in Mirzapur district, which in present-day Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Here he consolidated his position and secured the neighboring territories. Then he marched into the province of Bihar in around 1203. His capture of Bihar improved his reputation, and Qutbuddin Aibak publicly recognized him. He established many garrisons and exerted his political authority across Bihar. This paved the way for his next big move, the conquest of Bengal. Bengal at the time was under the rule of Sena dynasty. The Senas were originally from South India, and their language was Kannades. The main religion of Bengal at the time was Buddhism, but the Senas suppressed the Buddhists and imposed their brand of Hinduism on the people. Once the Sena dynasty became politically weak and disunited, Muhammad Baktiyar Khalji moved into Bengal and established Muslim rule for the first time. This took place around 1204. After the conquest of Nadia, Khalji stayed there and established his administration. His dominion now extended from Bihar to Dinajpur in the north, and from the borders of the Kamrup in the east to as far as Jessore in the south. He divided his kingdom into regions and districts. He then appointed governors in each area. Shiran Khalji was based at Birbhum. Husamuddin Khalji was in Tirhut. Ali Mardin Khalji was in Rangpur. Together they established a good political and military administration. Khalji abolished the caste system and liberated the masses from bondage. Many Hindus and Buddhists became Muslims at the time. He built mosques, seminaries, and khanqahs to meet the local social, cultural, religious, and educational needs. Muhammad Baktiyar Khalji was a pioneer of Muslim thought, culture, and civilization in northern India, and especially in Bengal. After consolidating his rule, Khalji planned another large military expedition to Tibet. Historians disagree why he initiated this expedition. Perhaps he wanted to open up a trade route to Tibet and Central Asia or expand his kingdom. Guided by a local convert and accompanied by 10,000 soldiers, Khalji left Deokat for Tibet in 1206. After 2 weeks of travel, he arrived at the borders of Tibet, but the forces of the local ruler resisted. The two armies fought a fierce battle. Being unable to defeat his opponents, Khalji was forced to retreat and make his way back. However, his forces had suffered heavy losses. Cold and hilly terrain did not help. His forces were also ambushed by the ruler of Kamrup. This forced him to abandon his expedition. Khalji's failure to secure Tibet was a major blow to his pride and prestige. On his return to Deokat in modern Dinajpur, he fell seriously ill and died in 1206, but he achieved enough success to be recognized as one of Asia's great military generals. He established a kingdom which has remained Muslim to this day in the form of Bangladesh. The credit for this must go to none other than Khalji. Unsurprisingly, his achievements and legacy continues to inspire the Muslims of Bengal to this day. Al-Mahmud, a great Bangladeshi writer and poet, published a book called Horses of Bakhtiyar as a tribute to his memory during the early 1990s. If you enjoyed this video and would like more, please subscribe and share.